take a look at hundreds of different sneakers over here on the channel, and very few shock me, but these 4 absolutely did. Starting with the Nike Reactx Rejuven8. Now, I think one of the main reasons why this pair of shoes is so shocking, mainly due to the fact that like so many other brands have tried to make foam shoes and absolutely succeeded, whereas Nike and Jordan brand haven't. And not from lack of trying, like they have tried a bunch of different foam shoes, whether it's mules, complete, clogs, slides, but it really felt like every single one was a complete miss, especially from a comfort perspective. Now with this brand new one, it's not only just a really good foam shoe, but better than a lot of the other ones. So looking at them immediately, you're gonna compare them to the Yeezy Foam Runner or a pair of Crocs. And actually, if you look at them, it kind of seems like a hybrid between the two. Like if you just merge them both together, this is what you would get out of the other side. So the main reason anybody buys a pair of foam shoes is always going to be comfort. So the ideal version of a foam shoe is something that you can slip on, wear all day, and just be completely just in a cloud with them. And to be comfortable, you need a soft foam, which up until this point, yeah, Nike and Jordan brand haven't really done. So this time, they actually decided to make these entirely out of Reactx cushioning. That's the stuff that you see in a lot of their like most comfortable sneakers, like the Pegasus 41s, the premiums, the Vomero 18s. So on the top of the shoe, you've got that insanely soft Reactx, which is a pretty big deal. It almost makes this pair of shoes feel like a sock. Sometimes with foam shoes, they end up being a little bit hard, maybe even a little bit more rigid. As you're walking around, your toes kind of hit the top of it, and you really feel that, and it's just not the most comfortable feeling. But with these, it's soft enough and thin enough to where it just feels so comfortable. Like, look at this. It's almost stretchy at the top. Now, of course, with that exact same material underneath your feet, it feels great. It's incredibly cushioned. Now, what they've also gone and done is made them actually pretty wide, which is a great addition to a pair of foam clogs, because you don't have like, soft material that's going to just allow the shoe to conform to your foot. Something with foam, you want to be a little bit wider, and they did that over here, which I really like. Interestingly, one of the biggest problems with a lot of foam shoes is the actual like outsole. It's also made of foam and therefore wears down incredibly quickly, like the Yeezy Foam Runner or the Crocs. Like those things go smooth, but not these. Nike actually added an actual traction pattern to these, made of rubber, just like a traditional sneaker. But I really do think that my favorite thing about this pair of shoes is just how well they fit to your foot. Like this is now easily the best fitting clog I have ever put on. It's just the perfect combination of like obviously being super lightweight, cushioned, but then also just conforming to your foot. I literally feel like I can sprint in these. This really just feels like one of those rare times where Nike actually listened to people and just gave them what they wanted. But next up, we have a sneaker I don't know if anybody asked for. This is the very first Ugg sneaker. It's called the Lowmel Trainer. And yeah, I don't think I need to explain why an Ugg sneaker shocked me. Even just their existence is unexpected. But as wild as it sounds, they're actually really good. So first off, comfort. That's kind of what Ugg is known for. And somehow they made these just as comfortable as some of their like actual, regular boots. So internally, it actually keeps a lot of those elements that Ugg is known for. So you've got like this woolly material on the back of the tongue, which, covers your foot. And then also the footbed, that's also completely covered in the same wool. The midsole is also made out of the exact same stuff as a lot of their boots. So it's actually really soft and just overall a great feeling when you're walking around. They have that slip on and go type feel to them because, well, you don't tie the laces, and you've also got this pull tab back here, so you just open them up, slip them on, and you're good to go. They're lightweight, and the materials on top are super padded and cushioned, like the tongue and the ankle area. Design-wise, it actually looks like a Louis Vuitton skate shoe or something like that. Just way lighter, way more comfortable, and a lot more affordable at 150 bucks. So the top of the shoe is also covered in suede, so it actually feels like decently premium. Like you actually feel like you're getting a solid pair of shoes for that price tag. Overall, I think this is a really cool looking pair of shoes. Design wise, it's great. Comfort wise, it's great. I initially bought them just for like market research, just to see what the hell is Ugg up to. But they just surprised me a lot. Now, up until this point, it's all been sunshine and rainbows, but this next one, it actually surprised me just in the opposite direction. This is the on-running Cloudsurfer 2, an incredibly hyped up everyday comfort pair of shoes, mainly due to the fact of its predecessor, the Cloudsurfer Cloudsurfer. That shoe was phenomenal. It actually took #1 spot in my top 10 most comfortable sneakers for last year. So you wouldn't believe how excited I was to finally see that On was going to be making the next generation, the all-new Cloudsurfer 2. So first off, the visuals. They are practically identical to the first one. Like, honestly, it's hard to tell them apart. Like, I could look at these and just be like, yeah, Cloudsurfers. Not that I necessarily thought that they needed a complete redesign, but at least, you know, let us know visually which one is which. Especially after the weirdness that they pulled with the Cloudsurfer Next. That almost felt like a troll. Those things feel like bricks and nothing like the other Cloudsurfers. But more disappointing than the lack of visual change is just the lack of change overall. If anything, they've made these worse. They're now heavier than the original Cloudsurfers. The midsole is also a little bit firmer. Now you do get slightly more padding around the ankle area, but a thicker outsole traction pattern for durability. They also say more breathability, but I didn't really notice anything, and I doubt you will either. So overall, I just think it's a pretty shocking decision for On to actually follow up such a great pair of shoes with something that's such a minor, if not worst version. Now, even though I think it's a pretty shocking decision from On not to follow up such a great pair of shoes with something even better and just run with this model, this is, at the end of the day, still a pretty solid pair of sneakers. It's a very comfortable pair of shoes, although I just think now there's just a lot of other options that are better than these. The original Cloudsurfers I would probably recommend before I ever do these. I made a whole top 10 video of the most comfortable shoes for 2025, so I'd recommend checking that out because a lot of the other recommendations would be in there that I would recommend over these. I keep saying recommended. We're gonna move on. Now, next we have a pair of shoes that Adidas did actually make better than the first ones, and that is the Adidas Adistar HRMNY. Now, not very many people actually know that one of the most comfortable shoes that you can buy from Adidas is called the Adistar 3. It's a little bit more of a low-key pair of shoes that's very affordable at like $110. So when they dropped these things, I mean, I didn't think I'd like them this much. That's for damn sure. So the midsole is basically the exact same as the Adistar 3, so you get that same repetitor foam, which is very soft, very cushioned, feels great underfoot. But this time they've added a plastic shank in the middle, which is interesting because normally I would never like a pair of shoes with a shank in the middle as like a daily casual pair of sneakers that I would walk around for comfort. But here it's actually implemented in a really cool way that's like not necessarily strictly running. It kind of gives you this rocker effect where it just feels better for walking. Now, obviously the upper is where all of the changes take place. So this new upper is based off of like a retro Adidas 2000s model that definitely has that look going for it, especially with this ombre effect from like red to orange. You've also got a big upgrade in terms of materials. You now get a bunch of soft suede around the toe box and the side panels, and then even some leather around the heel tab. You've got metal eyelets, which feel great and actually really look cool as well. The inner sock liner is decently padded and also covered in a really nice premium feeling material. Now, with all of these upgrades, you are going to pay a little bit more for them, and yeah, they're definitely more expensive than the regular Adistar 3, but I think they're worth it. These are not only incredibly cool looking, but just one of the most comfortable shoes that you can buy. Oh yeah, and I didn't even mention one of the coolest details on here. On the top of the toe box, you got like these little flames that are also reflective. It's just such a dope top-down view. Big fan of these, just like I'm a big fan of that video over there. So if you want to find out what it's all about, just click on it.